Inheritance tax. So again, we do have a full guide on inheritance tax, although things are changing and things are constantly changing. The budget in October 2024 announced some further changes to inheritance tax, which will come into play further down the line. We'll talk about that separately. However, there are just a few things to think about. And while for a lot of you, I hope inheritance tax planning seems like it's a long time away, just planning a little bit now can really make a difference. So for example, gifts made more than 7 years before your death fall outside of your estate for inheritance tax. So if you can make a gift to, well, anyone, and as long as you have survived the giving of that gift for 7 years, there will be no inheritance tax to pay. There's a sliding scale of repayments due if you do not outlive that gift by 7 years. But you need to make sure you keep really good documentation around that. So there's also a £3,000 annual gift exemption, I suppose it would be called. So you can carry that for 1 year if it's not used. So for example, if you didn't make any gifts last year, you can potentially make £6,000 worth of gifts this year, and they will not be subject to inheritance tax. So very, very useful if you have children or relatives that need some support and help, that you can gift this. But again, keeping paperwork in line with this is really essential too. There are some additional gifts you can give if it's for a wedding or special occasions and so on. But again, you can look at the detail of that in a link I'll pop in the comments or the description. Spouses and civil partners, of course, have their own separate allowances, which you need to be aware of. Further down the line, there will be gifts that you could make out of what's known as surplus income. So if you can prove to HMRC that you do not need, you've got this surplus income that's coming perhaps from previous investments that you don't need to live off, then these could be considered exempt from inheritance tax. But again, proper record keeping and proper advice from a qualified tax advisor is really essential on this. Then there's certain other gifts, such as those to charities, political parties, or for the care of elderly or dependent relatives. And these are completely tax-free, no catch, no limit.